Tambo region in the Eastern Cape province. The launch, to be held at the Rotary Stadium in Mthatha, is an attempt to increase membership of the ANC and also win the forthcoming local government elections in the region. Our reporter Zimkita Manginana is there and she now joins us. Nice to chat to you once again. Zimkita, what is the latest on the launch of the volunteers by Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa there?
Welcome back to Rotary Stadium, Aubrey. The Deputy President of the ANC has just addressed the more than 10,000 volunteers who gathered at this stadium since the early hours of this morning, coming to hear what the message is that they need to take forward ahead of 2016 local government elections. One of the critical issues that he touched on, is the fact that the volunteers must follow in the footsteps of the late statesman, former President Nelson Mandela, who was the first volunteer of the ANC. He emphasized the fact that if the volunteers get it right, then everybody else who needs to be a member of the ANC will get it right. But let's chat to one of the volunteers who was addressed this afternoon, just to get a feeling of what it is that he's planning to do to assist the ANC in increasing its membership ahead of the elections. Good afternoon and welcome to PM Live. Just tell us, how many years have you been a volunteer for the ANC, and what are the things that you think that the Deputy President touched on that you need to take forward when doing your door-to-door campaigns?
Thank you very much. Let me greet the viewers and also the South African as a whole. I've been a volunteer of the ANC for 5 years now, and one thing that the President had mentioned, which we need to take serious, is to listen to the people and take the issues of the people forward. And the one thing that also mentioned the Deputy President was that most of the time we don't convince people or take the issues to other people. If you fail to address them, you should take to the level of other leadership. That is, you can even take as a volunteer to the LET coordinator or to the regional coordinator or to the provincial or to the NEC, because the ANC is working like a unitarian organization.
Thank you very much for your time. There you have it there, some of the volunteers rededicating themselves to the ANC. One of the challenges that the ANC is going to face ahead of the elections next year in this area is that the OR Tambo region is the second biggest region of the ANC countrywide, and it's the first biggest in the province of the Eastern Cape. If we zoom in the OR Tambo region and when we focus at KSD municipality is highly contested with new kids on the block like the EFF who will be going into the local government elections for the very first time, and we also saw CASA that is also going to go into elections next year, and also the Ratepayers Association saying that they want to be a standalone government organization that will also contest the elections because of some grievances that they have within the ruling party. So those are some of the things that the ANC will really need to focus on ahead of the elections next year. But to speak to us about some of the mobilization structures that the ANC is planning to do, and also the issue of factionalism, is the spokesperson of the ANC in the province, Mlibo Koboshiane. MEC, yes. Deputy President spoke a lot about bribery of people ahead of the elections, and that has led to factionalism and parallel structures, because now people don't vote for people because of credibility, but they've been paid to do so. What are you planning as the province, as the OR Tambo region, to ensure that that stops?
Well, I think the Deputy President is reiterating what the National General Council has already adopted. We have since realized that parallelism, fraudulent kind of recruitment of members, the use of money are the ills within the organization. The best advantage is that the ANC has identified these things in its own organizational renewal program adopted post-Mangaung. This is a matter that branches were advised to be dealing with left, right and the center. Now we are able, through our own internal mechanisms and means to identify, including auditing those kinds of members, we are able to identify the trail of this mischief. And I think the branches are empowered, the recruiters are now well up and trained, and they understand exactly a member must join voluntarily, a subscription must be paid by the member, a member must go to a branch and take an oath, And all of those things are trying to say you can't have members in the membership forms, but there are no members in the real terms of the word. And these are the things that people have used in the past to deposit money and recruit people that don't exist. And these are the issues that have been identified in the process, and we are dealing with them now.
Okay. I liked how he put it. He was saying, you must be the face of the ANC, the hands of the ANC, the feet of the ANC.
Yes.
He also said, if Mandela was given money, would he do it? If OR Tambo was given money, would he do it? What are you doing within the party to ensure that you instill in the minds of the people the kind of leadership that Mandela and OR Tambo stood for?
I think we need to plant in the hearts and minds of the members of the ANC to be in a position to reject things they understand as wrong. And the second thing is to give them courage to be members of the ANC than to be members of other members. People are just using the vulnerability of our people, the unemployability and unemployment situation, and exploit that particular thing to achieve their own selfish goals. The second thing which I think is important, emulating the best example of Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, surely when you try to bribe them, they could have been bribed in jail, they could have been bribed in exile, they could have been bribed during their own era, but they said it is about the nation they are fighting for. It is not about them. As long as our people will understand that the fruits of freedom squarely lies in their own hands, nobody will buy them, but they will be in a position to do better for the society they would like to see.
Thank you very much for your time. That was ANC spokesperson in the Eastern Cape province. They're telling us that they are willing to follow in the footsteps of Nelson Mandela to ensure that they take the ANC forward just the way Mandela and OR Tambo stood for. It's now back to you in Johannesburg.
Well, many thanks to our reporter there, Zimkita Manginana, live from the Rotary Stadium in Mthatha in the OR Tambo region of the Eastern Cape.